The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Squeeze. Squeeze. Get in there. Check. Let's go.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. A give to Smith out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Drop deep.
A first down carry for Smith. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Six yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Second and 4. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Down. 90. Wolf.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
Alpha.
58, right over there.
Ready, go.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
Tighten up.
Ready.
On the draw, this is Smith. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
That's the way to hit him.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Set, ready. 10 Lobo. Pick your see it. On. Switch. Let up.
They go back to the ground now with Smith. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Smith. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Under crunch. Back. Check the back.
They'll try and run for it with Smith. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Team 6.
Shotgun now for Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Down. 180.
Mike, 45. Here we go. Shift. Check.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
I'm here all day. Double time. Hand me. 3 down.
Throwing on 2nd down. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's caught, Jones. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 41-yard line.
First down, Raiders.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. I'm ready.
From the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
45, 45, Mike, 45. You get right.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down, and that is incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And there's a work of art right there, out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now Ito Smith. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
At the 14-yard line.
Now! 180! Hey, we're good, we're good! 280!
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Carl try it again on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just... first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Let's go, folks.
First down, Raiders.
Down. 185. Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. It's Desmond Trufant. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And finding the tight end, Hooper. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go. Set. 60 half ball.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
45's the mic. 45's the mic. Coming, baby.
From the gun, Carr. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First down, Raiders.
Check 24, check 24.
7:34.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Jacobs. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And some room to work. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you get success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Logan Ryan that time who knocked it away. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
And it's complete. Hooper, 14 yards there on a Falcon first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So naturally, they will decline it. They got the first down anyway on the play.
Who needs a penalty when you picked up the first down through hard work and effort anyway? First down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line.
Ready, ready. Mike 3. Ready, go.
After the penalty, it's Smith. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to Smith. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 30 base, let's go.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Set, ready. 10 Lobo, lock it.
Here we go.
49, check 49, check 49. Ready, go.
On first down, Smith. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mike 3.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
29 is a Mike. Mike 29.
Run up.
Check pass. Check pass. 29 is a Mike.
They'll drop to throw. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Complete to Tyrell Williams. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Yep. Shoot! 61. Matchbox, right.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Get that ball. Hey, 58 is a mic. Go 58 is a mic.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyrell Williams. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Go. Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Smith. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Ready. 15 lining, 15 lining.
Yo.
Ready.
To the outside, that's complete to Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Set. 60 orange. Hard.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? Heavy?
They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. He's got Smith here. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down.
Choose the mic.
Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Throwing again on second down. Carr. He's got a man. Complete. An excellent gain, 35 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Carr completes it. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Carr to throw again. Open man is Hill. He's got it. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Now Carr again. Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check 31, check 31. Head up.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. They'll run it now with Smith. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are